Hey Internet, welcome to Thermodynamics tutorial. This is a made-up question not found in your textbooks. We got a piston-cylinder device containing 0.3 kilograms of steam, initial pressure of 200 kPa, and temperature of 300 degrees Celsius. Steam is cooled with constant pressure until the temperature reaches 150 degrees Celsius. Using the compressibility factor, find the change in volume of the cylinder during this process and compare it with the actual volume change. So what they want is the delta capital V, so the change in volume, and then compare it with the actual volume change, so that is your error rate. So step 1, draw your free body diagram, your 3D. This will help you visualize the problem. Step 2, list all the given variables, find the unknowns. This will help you find out what you need to solve. Step 3, find the exact volume formula. So delta capital V exact is equal to mass multiplied by the specific volume difference. So specific, initial volume, and final are missing, so we need to find them. Step 4, find the initial specific volume. So in the question, it's stated that it's steam, and we are compressing it. So this will be in our steam table. So at 300 degrees Celsius, we go to our water table, we go to 200 kPa, we line those two up, and I will mention 200 kPa as well. So once you line those two up, you will get your specific initial volume, or initial specific volume, and that's 1.31623 meters cubed per kilogram. Step 5, we want to find the final specific volume. So once again, your final temperature is 150 degrees Celsius, and you line that up with 200 kPa as well, because it is a constant process or constant pressure process. That's why the pressure doesn't change. And our final specific volume is 0.95986 meters cubed per kilogram. Step 6, find the exact volume. So mass multiplied by the change in specific volume. And what we get is 0.1069 meters cubed. Step 7, find the change in volume from the chart formula. So it is initial minus final. Why is it that way and not final minus initial? Because initial is bigger than the final. So it's always the bigger one minus the smaller one. Okay, so these are missing. We need to find them. Step 8, find the initial volume formula, and that's for the ideal gas. So since they mentioned the compressibility factor, we need to include that as well. So Z is your compressibility factor. So that's unknown. Mass is given, which is little m. R is missing, which is your gas constant. We can find that in the table. And T and P, so temperature and pressure, are given respectively. Step 9, find the gas constant of steam. So you can Google search this, or you can look it up at the back of your textbook. It'll be 0.4615 kilojoules per kilogram Kelvin. Step 10 in order to find the compressibility factor Z, you need the reduced pressure and reduced temperature. So this is for the initial Z. So these two factors, they're just ratios because the units cancel out. Step 11, find the initial reduced pressure formula. So we've got the given pressure, so just regular P, divided by the critical pressure, so P crit. So step 12, find the critical pressure. You can find this at the back of your textbook in the water table, or you can just Google search this. So that's 22.06 MPa. Step 13, find the initial reduced pressure. So I spelt it out, but normally the symbol would be P subscript R. Okay, so 0.2 divided by 22.06. The units, MPa, cancel out. So you're left with 0.009066. Step 14, find the reduced temperature formula. So given temperature divided by critical temperature. Step 15, find the critical temperature. So this will be in the same table where you found your critical pressure. Once again, you can Google search this. So your critical temperature is 647.1 Kelvin. Step 16, find the initial reduced temperature. So since it's an ideal gas, we need to convert it to Kelvin. So 300 plus 273, 573 Kelvin. So 573 divided by 647.1, you get 0.8854. And that's your reduced temperature. So step 16, find the Z initial, which is 0.9957. How did we do this? So if you got the textbook, you can just go to your chart, line up the two values, and it will give you your Z factor or your compressibility factor. So what I did is I made a custom Python app. So we'll switch to that. So for copyright reasons, I can't use the chart, so I have to make my own custom one. Okay, as you can see. So I'll just grab the reduce temperature and reduce pressure. And we can find it directly, as you can see. Okay. So now that we have the Z factor, we can now solve for the initial volume. So we just plug and play back into this formula, and we get 0.3949 meters cubed. Now we need to find the final Z factor or compressibility factor in order to find the final volume. So once again, we need the reduce pressure and reduce temperature for the final state. So step 19, the final reduced pressure is the same as the initial because in the question it stated that it's a constant pressure process. So your reduced pressure is the same. In fact, I copy and pasted, but I didn't change it to final. It should be final, and the math is the same because the pressure doesn't change. Okay, apologies for the typo. So step 20, find the reduce temperature. So this does change. So now it's 150 degrees Celsius. So we need to convert that to Kelvin, add 273, 423 Kelvin. So 423 Kelvin divided by 647.1 Kelvin, we get 0.6536. Step 21, we now get Z final is equal to 0.9925, and we can check that in the Python app. Okay. So yes, I could have zoomed in on Word, but just showing you the app is probably easier. And as you can see, that's your Z factor. Okay. And now we just find our final volume. So we just plug and play. We've got our final Z factor. We've got the same mass given in question. The gas constant is found earlier. Final temperature. We get 0.2898 meters cubed. Step 23, we want to find the volume change from the chart. So initial minus final. I believe this is just repeating the previous step from earlier. That's okay. It's a good reminder. Step 24. Find the change in volume from the chart. So now we just plug in the numbers. So delta capital V subscript chart. So that's the change in volume of the chart. We get 0.1051 meters cubed. Step 25, find the error rate formula. So it's the volume for the exact. And then we minus the volume from the chart divided by the volume from the chart. So here are the values. So this was found very early. Step 6. So I'll just paste that back down for students' reference. So from step 6, and that's step 24. Okay. So we just plug and play. So 0.1069 minus 0.1051 divided by 0.1051, we get 0.01712 multiplied by 100%, we get 1.7% error rate. Okay, so that has answered A and B of this question. Disclaimers: the method is correct. However, I do make calculation mistakes. I encourage you to solve it yourself and see if you get the same answer. Now, before we leave, I highly encourage you to save this video onto your PC, just in case this video or channel gets taken down. You can do this by using Snipping Tool. If you never used Snipping Tool before, follow these instructions. If you're on a Mac or Linux, use the equivalent of Snipping Tool. So Click on the icon in your taskbar. If it's not there, go to your Windows search, type in snipping tool, open up the program. Click on video option, click on new. Left click and drag the rectangle to cover the YouTube screen. This is just an example. Hit the start button in snipping tool, wait for the countdown. Hit the replay button on YouTube, let the video finish. Hit the red square in snipping tool to stop recording and then save your video. Thanks for watching. Hope you had a great day. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you got questions, comments, you can leave it in the comment section. Also, if you find a mistake, leave it in the comment section as well. If you want to support me, become a member or drop a super thanks. Until next time, see ya.